Hey y'all, how's it going? So today I'm actually shooting outside my house. Please ignore our swampy green pool. We're breeding goldfish. Just don't ask. Anyway, so today I want to talk about something that's been weighing on my mind for a little while. It's a story that I always wanted to share, but I never felt quite prepared to share it. And recently, this has been kind of a hot topic in Korea and in America, so I figure the timing is right and I'm removed enough from it to be able to give a good explanation of what happened. But I always do pride myself in trying to make this channel, a full channel, well-rounded, not just all the happy, awesome times that I had in Korea. So here goes. This is my story of being sexually harassed at a gym in Korea. To start us off, I wanted to join a gym. So I joined this really big, expensive gym, and it was really fancy and everything, but it was kind of cold-hearted and I didn't really like it, and it was just really expensive. So I did a 3-month trial, and at the end of the trial I was just kind of disappointed, it just wasn't working for me. So I started looking for another one. Some people recommended this gym. It sounded really good, the price was right, and they said that the manager spoke English. So I was like, okay, awesome, this is perfect. So I went in, sure enough, the manager was really nice and friendly, and they gave me a little discount, and everything was really great. So I was very excited about joining this gym. I started going. I would go at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and the gym manager was always there. And it started out pretty innocent. He would be really friendly with me, and I was actually kind of excited about it because at the other gym, nobody even really acknowledged that I existed. It's like they were kind of scared of me because I can be pretty intimidating. I mean, I am 5'10", and I, at the time, wasn't very good in Korean, so I could understand how they wouldn't really want to interact with me too much for fear of me, I don't know, biting them or something. So it was nice, having a gym, friend. After, I guess, a month of that, it started getting a little weird. He would do this thing where I would be running on the treadmill with my headphones in, and he would come up behind me and, say hi, right in my ear, hey Chelsea. And I am very skittish. For those of you who don't know me, I'm extremely jumpy. That's why I don't watch horror movies, because every time something exciting happens, I jump 10 feet out of my skin. He would do that to me on the treadmill. So there were a couple of times where I almost face planted because he was, I think almost on purpose, trying to startle me. So that got kind of annoying, but I was like, okay, well, whatever, it's still nice that he's being friendly with me. And then he started saying hey, let me give you a free training session. And I was like, okay, well, that's sometimes it's included in the package of when you sign up for a new gym. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, let me train with you. Hey, let's do it on this Sunday that the gym is going to be closed, so I can give you a special training session. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. That's kind of strange. So let's just do regular time and hours. And he was like, okay, no problem. So we did that, and I was like, hey, I want to do weightlifting. I want to gain strength. And he was like, no, you're a girl. You need to do sit-ups and cardio. And that was kind of annoying because he wasn't listening to what I was saying, but that's just being a bad trainer. That's not sexually harassing me. So at that point we were still pretty cool. I was a little weirded out by the private training session in a completely closed empty gym, but I didn't think anything of it. And then he started asking me out. So he would be like, hey, when are you gonna go out with me? When are you gonna grab coffee with me? And at that point I was like, oh, I have a boyfriend. So never is the answer to that. And that didn't stop him at all. In fact, it almost made him more aggressive about it. So after that point, he would be like, okay, well, in case your boyfriend makes you sad or something, you can always call me and I'll take care of all your worries. And I was like, okay. It kept going like that. And then he'd ask me out all the time. And then he started asking for massages from me. He would be like, hey Chelsea, how you doing today? And I'm like, I'm good. And he'd say, yeah, I've had a long day today. Why don't you stay late after gym hours and give me a massage? Or I can give you a massage. And I was like, I no, like I have a boyfriend, you're making me so incredibly uncomfortable. At this point, I actually like started to change my schedule. Like I actually started to wake up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning and go in the early morning because I knew he didn't work at that time. Like he was starting to make me really, really uncomfortable. I did that probably for a couple of months just to avoid him. But I'm very much a night owl, and it was destroying me waking up that early when I didn't really have to. So I started going back in the afternoons, which meant that he was there. And then it just started getting really bad. At one point, the boyfriend that I'd kind of been using as a buffer to keep him, I guess, leashed and behaving well, we actually broke up. And I didn't plan on telling him that. I literally just walked into the gym one day and he looked at me and said, "You broke up with your boyfriend." And I do not have a good poker face at all. So I didn't say anything, but he was just like, "I knew it. You broke up with your boyfriend. You're going to go on a date with me." And I was like, "I don't know." Like, I don't really want to at all go on a date with you. Eventually, I, just flat out like stopped going to the gym, like just completely, because he was making me so incredibly uncomfortable. And then one day I got a text message from him, which was very strange because I never gave him my phone number. He had used his manager privileges to go into their records and find my phone number and started text messaging me. And he would ask me for massages. He would offer another training session at the gym when we were like all by ourselves. And it made me so incredibly uncomfortable. And I actually told this story to my co-teacher and a couple of the other teachers at my school, and they said like, "Oh my God, we know exactly who you're talking about. He does that to a lot of women at that gym." And at one point I was like kind of relieved because I was like, okay, well, it's not just me. But at the other point I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's getting away with this, like making so many women uncomfortable. And in Korean society, you don't really want to cause a fuss because it's kind of rude and it's uncomfortable. And in my case, I didn't want to cause too much of a fuss because he was literally the only person who spoke English at the gym. So if I had any problems, I had to interact with him. And he was like besties with the owner. They would go drinking like every Saturday night. So like, how would I even begin to go straight to the owner in broken Korean and tell him that like one of his best friends is like sexually harassing me and making me and other women at the gym really uncomfortable? Like I didn't really know how to handle the situation. So to be honest, I just ran away from it. After a while, he stopped text messaging me. I didn't like passively just let all this happen, by the way. Like I did tell him multiple times in person and in written like text message form, like, "You're making me uncomfortable. I don't want to date you. Please stop. Like I like our rapport that we have going, but you're making me really uncomfortable. And I've already told you no multiple times. Please stop." And it never stopped him. Like he would be like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm making you uncomfortable." And then a week later, it would be another request for a massage or us spending time alone. He actually at one point even tried to follow me home, like under the guise of walking me home. And he said like, "Oh, well, you can always come to my house and, hang out there if you want to." And I was like, dude, like, just no, like all the no's. I actually just flat out stopped going after a while because he made me so incredibly uncomfortable. And you'd think that I'd be kind of used to this treatment because, it's like pretty girl syndrome or something, but it actually had a lot deeper of an effect on me than I thought it would. Like I didn't actually join another gym for probably 6 months. And even then when I did, I joined it with my new like Korean boyfriend, and I would only go when he was with me because I was so traumatized from being constantly harassed by the manager at my other gym that I was like nervous about going to another gym. So I would only go with him. And even then, like at one point I eventually went without him, and these 3 Korean trainers were, I think, honestly trying to be helpful to me. Like they were trying to help me when I was doing squats, and they were saying like, "Oh, you have too much weight, like your form is starting to like suffer, you need to take weight off and practice with this." But the whole time in my head, it was just replaying the situation with this other guy, and I just felt super uncomfortable, even though they were being really polite and generous, like trying to help me so I didn't hurt myself. but the whole time all I could think of was like, don't touch me, don't come anywhere near me, like don't find my name on my file and start harassing me. The whole experience, now I can go to the gym and I'm okay for the most part, although I do have a tendency to avoid male trainers, even just, I guess, out of habit, because I'm worried, which is, it sucks because, you know, I get along with guys really well usually, so I mean, it's kind of a bummer that I still do that, but it's just so ingrained now after this experience. This whole thing lasted probably, I guess, 6 to 7 months before I stopped going. Like, it just kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And I wish it never happened. And I wish I had a happier, like, ending to this story. I guess the happy ending is that I can go to the gym now and not feel really uncomfortable. But I wanted to share this because it is a problem that I've noticed. And I really had no way of getting around it. Like, there was really no way for me to fix the situation because he was in a position of power, and because in general in Korean society sexual harassment is kind of accepted and women are just supposed to put up with it. So I think that it's something that Koreans, especially Korean women, are starting to speak out about, and that's kind of why I'm starting to speak out about it. I think that if they kind of band together, they're stronger. Everybody kind of has a story like this, and if we all share these stories, then maybe something will finally change. And Korea can be an even more wonderful, amazing country that I still hold in such high regard and I love so very, very much. Like, this is an uncomfortable story, but it's a small, small, small snapshot of my 4 years that were utterly amazing, with so many friends that I've made. And so many people who are incredibly kind to me in Korea. So please, please, please do not think that this is a very common occurrence. It was literally like 6 or 7 months out of 4 years. So take it with a grain of salt. But I do think that Korea can face this issue head on if they're ready and fix it. So I love you guys. Sorry this video is so like depressing. But like I said, I do want to give an accurate depiction of my experiences there. So love you guys. I will see you next time.